Good day, Zimbabwe. Wake up and smell the diplomacy or whatever that burning scent is coming from Pretoria, because the SADC chair has just changed hands again. Yes, South Africa has taken over the regional bloc's hot seat after Madagascar's coup leader quietly backed out. Apparently, he decided it's hard to lead regional democracy when you got your own by skipping elections. So, enter President Cyril Ramaphosa, now officially SADC's class monitor. Pretoria says it's ready to lead with unity, which loosely translates to, we will fix things after our own power cuts. It's a familiar story. One country's chaos becomes another's opportunity. And when that country is South Africa, it's never just diplomacy. It's business, politics, and a bit of family meeting with extra drama. For Zimbabwe, this means every regional issue, from trade deals to migrant policies, will now go through a Pretoria filter. Translation: if you thought visa queues were long before, wait until the new SADC chairman starts talking regional harmonization. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, Donald Trump just pulled off the diplomatic version of ghosting. The US president announced that no American government official will attend the upcoming G20 summit in Johannesburg, calling it, quote, a total disgrace. Trump claims it's because of alleged human rights violations against white farmers in South Africa, though critics say he's simply allergic to international cooperation. Either way, South Africa's PR team must be having an early Christmas meltdown. Imagine planning the year's biggest global summit only for the world's most powerful country to RSVP with a laugh out loud not coming. It's a bizarre moment for Africa. Here we are, trying to host the world's top economies, while the supposed leader of the free world cancels like it's a dentist appointment. The irony? Washington's no-show might just push Africa closer to China and Russia, a plot twist that probably has diplomats practicing their poker faces already. And as the world argues over who is attending which summit, back home, Zimbabwe's political thriller has a new chapter. Opposition leader Job Sikhala was arrested in South Africa after police reportedly found explosives in his vehicle. Yes, explosives, because Zimbabwean politics is never content with just drama. It must come with a detonation clause. According to reports, Sikhala and his driver were lured to a Pretoria mall where the so-called friends he met later turned out to be trouble. The explosives found under his seat raised serious questions. Was he transporting them, or was he the target? Some Zimbabweans online are already whispering assassination attempt, while others suspect this was a setup to keep him silent. And as usual, the truth in these matters tends to be whatever the most powerful man in Harare says it is. Still, it's a reminder of how dangerous it has become to be opposition in the region. When your critics start being found with bombs under their seats, democracy isn't just under threat. It's sitting on a time bomb. Ladies and gentlemen, do you believe Sikhala's arrest was politically motivated or just a criminal case gone weird? Comment yes or no below and tell us what you think. Now to the economy, where the government is doing its best to look like it knows what it is doing. The International Monetary Fund has just upgraded Zimbabwe's 2025 economic rebound, calling it stronger than expected. The IMF says our agriculture, mining, and inflation control are performing better than projected. The finance minister was quick to celebrate, posting charts that look suspiciously like the same ones from last year, just with brighter colors. But before anyone gets too excited, remember the IMF's rebound isn't the same as your grocery basket rebounding. It's an economic way of saying you are still broke, but at least slower this time. Inflation is still inflation. It's just walking instead of running. And while Mtuli Ncube talks about middle income status, ordinary Zimbabweans are just trying to afford middle-sized sadza. Still, credit where it is due, Zimbabwe is surviving. In a world economy that keeps tripping on itself, we somehow keep crawling forward. Maybe we really are the most resilient people on earth, or maybe we are just too tired to protest anymore. Speaking of political fatigue, there is a new warning on the horizon, 2030. No, not the year your passport expires. The slogan ZANU-PF keeps chanting like a gospel chorus. Some say it's the government's development roadmap, others say it's a coded term for stay in power forever. A recent commentary asks if we are falling for the same destruction again. Cheering for Vision 2030 while the constitution quietly gets edited in the background. You know the trick by now. First, they start with a slogan, vision this, vision that. Then a few rallies later, you realize the vision includes your grandchildren voting for the same guy. And before you know it, it's 2030 and we are still talking about reform like it's a brand new idea. Meanwhile, the world keeps moving and even football seems to have more order than politics. The Warriors have announced their squad for the upcoming friendlies against Algeria and Qatar. And yes, legends Knowledge Musona and Marvelous Nakamba are back in the mix. It's like the Avengers reassembling after a long break. Only this time the villains are goalkeepers. Zimbabweans are thrilled, social media is buzzing, and for once the biggest national debate isn't about politics. It's about whether our team can actually score. So, while South Africa is babysitting SADC, Trump is skipping the G20, Sikhala is behind bars, and Mnangagwa is daydreaming about 2030, at least the Warriors might give us something to smile about. Because in Zimbabwe, joy is temporary, but hope is stubborn. And as we wrap up this bulletin, here's the reality check. SADC politics are turning into musical chairs. Global diplomacy is starting to look like a Netflix comedy, and Zimbabwe's so-called rebound is basically just an IMF pat on the head. But one thing is for sure, nobody in Harare is short of confidence, even when they are short of results. If you enjoyed this bulletin, check whether you have subscribed. If not, hit that subscribe, smash the like, and drop a comment below. Do you believe Zimbabwe is really on the road to recovery or just stuck in traffic again? And remember, at ZimwavesTV, we don't just report the news, we roast it until it tells the truth.